In the years since, the JonBenét Ramsey case has become one of the most haunting unsolved mysteries in American history, fueling endless speculation, media obsession, and conspiracy theories that blur the line between fact and fiction. Was it a kidnapping gone wrong? An inside job? Or the work of someone who slipped through the cracks? DNA does not match DNA found at the scene of JonBenét's murder. The tragic death of 6-year-old beauty queen JonBenét Ramsey shocked the world and baffled investigators for decades. But now, thanks to cutting-edge DNA technology, the case might finally be coming to a close. And the truth is more unsettling than anyone expected. New evidence has surfaced that could change everything. Those closest to the investigation believe police are just one step away from solving. But will justice finally be served? What truly happened that night, and why after nearly 3 decades is this mystery finally being unraveled? Over 28 years have passed since JonBenét Ramsey's brutal murder. Yet hope has been reignited by the promise of modern forensic science. But to understand the present, we need to go back to where it all began. It was December 1996. The Ramsey family should have been enjoying the holidays. Instead, their world was shattered when on the morning of December 26, she had been strangled with a garrote and the autopsy revealed a skull fracture. Even more disturbingly, a ransom note had been found earlier, demanding $118,000 for her return. But her body had never left the house. Initially called the police to report her missing hours later, he discovered her lifeless body in the basement and carried her upstairs in tears. A moment that would later place suspicion on the family. The bizarre details of the case. The crime scene was mishandled for years. The Ramsey family remained the prime suspects. Then in 2003, investigators found traces of unidentified male DNA. It did not match any Ramsey family member and was added to the FBI's CODIS database. This discovery led to the family's formal exoneration in 2008. Further analysis revealed the same unknown male DNA on other items from the scene, including the garrote and a blanket evidence that the killer had direct contact with JonBenét and the crime scene. Today, advances in forensic technology have made it possible to generate usable DNA profiles from evidence once considered inconclusive. The key tool now being used is forensic genetic genealogy, which combines DNA analysis with consumer genealogy databases to track down potential suspects. This exact method was used to catch the Golden State Killer in 2018, and many believe it holds the same promise for JonBenét's case, garrote, flashlight, and underwear using the latest lab technologies designed for genealogical profiling. The Ramsey family believes the police already have everything they need to solve the case. They say it's just a matter of applying the right tools and techniques. John Ramsey met with Boulder Police Chief Stephen Redfern and a genetic genealogy expert to explore ways to apply this technology to the remaining evidence. The 90-minute discussion marked a hopeful turning point. Since then, Chief Redfern and other officials have expressed a willingness to collaborate with the FBI and independent labs, signaling renewed determination to finally bring closure to the case. John Ramsey believes that genealogical DNA testing could provide a 60 to 70% chance of identifying the killer. Yet some investigative bodies remain cautious due to earlier evidence contamination, a major factor that has slowed progress for years. Still, new testing protocols and leadership along with public pressure from recent documentaries are driving a new wave of momentum. JonBenét's older half-brother John Andrew Ramsey has also stepped forward, expressing unwavering confidence that the case can still be solved. He revealed that dedicated volunteers continue to work on the investigation every day, convinced that justice is within reach. In a candid interview, John Andrew shared the emotional struggles the family faced, not only with JonBenét's death, but also with their mother Patsy's battle with stage 4 cancer. When JonBenét died, they were still grieving and suddenly found themselves accused by the public and law enforcement. "We lost our sister and our daughter." He said we were victims, but the people we thought would protect us turned on us. Instead, we were just ordinary people and our world was turned upside down after years of defending themselves. The 2008 DNA evidence finally cleared the Ramsey family. Now, the focus must shift to finding the real killer according to the family. The time is now. The technology exists. The evidence exists. What's needed is action to use modern forensic tools, follow the DNA trail, and finally bring the person responsible to justice. The Ramsey family remains united in their belief that law enforcement already possesses a critical, yet still untested, DNA evidence. needed to finally solve the JonBenét Ramsey case. The 3-page note was pinned on paper from inside the Ramsey home, using Patsy's own pen threatening beheadings, and signing off with the cryptic initials SBC, possibly pointing to someone from the University of Colorado Boulder, a theory that leans toward a local intruder. Psychological and linguistic experts dismissed the note entirely as a fabricated distraction, citing awkward phrasing. We advise you to be arrested as inconsistent with real kidnappers. Despite the contaminated scene, some physical evidence was still recovered. There was an open basement window with a scuff mark beneath it, packing peanuts and leaves scattered inside, and a suitcase propped up under the window possibly to aid in entry. Or a mysterious boot print was found near JonBenét's body that didn't match any family member. She had been strangled by a garrote made from nylon cord and a broken paintbrush taken from Patsy's art supplies. A similar ligature was tied around her wrist. Additionally, male DNA belonging to an unknown individual was found in multiple locations under JonBenét's fingernails on her underwear, long johns, the garrote, and the wrist cord. That DNA has never been matched to anyone connected to the case. More clues added to the mystery. A palm print on the basement door, green garland fibers in her hair duct tape that came from a different source, and a latex glove discovered in nearby trash. Despite these significant clues, the media frenzy surrounding the case only deepened the confusion. Almost immediately, the investigation was overshadowed by sensationalist coverage. What began as serious reporting quickly devolved into a trial by television. Tabloids and cable news turned JonBenét's murder into a spectacle with little regard for truth or accuracy. In one infamous example, Geraldo Rivera hosted a 1997 mock trial on national TV, theatrically convicting John and Patsy Ramsey without a shred of verified evidence. He later issued a public apology for the damage caused. Tabloids falsely claimed that Patsy forced JonBenét into pageants, or that John was guilty of misconduct, claims later proven false. Even Burke Ramsey, then only 9 years old, was dragged into the spotlight. His anxious demeanor was misrepresented as guilt, and media coverage portrayed his nervous smiles as something sinister. Journalists and critics, including Michael Tracy, condemned the coverage as a form of public lynching where rumors were valued more than truth. The relentless focus on the Ramsey family distorted public perception and hindered real investigative progress. Despite this, the Ramseys continued to live their lives while seeking justice. John Ramsey, now the family's most vocal advocate, has pushed tirelessly for the case to be solved. Since the death of his wife, Patsy, in 2006, John has championed modern DNA testing and appealed to authorities to revisit the evidence. He now divides his time between Michigan and Utah and Mary Jan Russo in 2011. He remains committed to seeing justice for JonBenét. Burke Ramsey pursued a quieter life. He graduated from Purdue University with a degree in computer and information technology and now works as a software engineer in Michigan. Married and living privately, Burke avoids the public eye. He declined participation in the Netflix documentary, but broke his silence in a 2016 appearance on Drive Phil, where he defended his innocence and supported the intruder theory. JonBenét's half-brother John Andrew Ramsey, John's son from a previous marriage, has been one of the most outspoken voices for justice. He participated in the Netflix docuseries and has consistently criticized law enforcement for its early failures. He continues to urge police to embrace advanced DNA testing and pursue every viable lead. Today, the entire Ramsey family remains focused on a single goal: pushing authorities to retest existing DNA evidence using the most advanced forensic tools available. They believe the answers are already within reach, and with all the technological advancements, renewed public interest, and fresh scrutiny, the case might finally be ready to close, giving the Ramsey family the answers they waited nearly 30 years to hear. What do you think really happened to JonBenét Ramsey? Which theory makes the most sense to you? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay curious.